Welcome back to the Exchange Video Library. We are here today with Marcus Harvey, the Digital Transformation Manager with Infoxchange. Infoxchange serves the IT needs of the social sector. Welcome, Marcus.
Thanks, Julia. Fabulous to be here.
Well, we've got a big topic right now, something that's been very topical for the last 2 years, which is remote working. You're going to share with us how can organisations enable more effective remote working? Over to you.
Thanks. And yeah, I've got to admit, I'm a bit sick of remote working, only because I live here in Melbourne and we've had our lovely 2 years of lockdown where everyone moved to remote working really quickly. For some non-profits that are local in Victoria, that was really easy. For others, there's a real challenge. And we've also had a whole lot more questions from organisations through New South Wales in the past 6 to 9 months and more remotely in Queensland and other areas. It's really interesting. We do an annual non-profit digital tech survey. And last year, about 50% of the 600 organisations that responded said that significant changes to their services were needed as a result of COVID. They really needed to focus on things like how do they get video conferencing tools working effectively for them? Do we need to move to the cloud? And funnily enough, if organisations have desktops sitting in the office, that's not so easy to take home or to work out and about in the cafe. And getting laptops can take a bit of time, particularly because everyone's wanting them at the moment. The other things that we found really interesting in our survey was that organisations explain that it needs staff skills to be developed in order to learn some new remote working tools, and cybersecurity protections need to be focused on. If we look at the remote working roadmap, we've put together a whole heap of hints and journeys to help organisations take their remote working journey. It's really important to note, and we get this all the time from the organisations we help in the Digital Transformation Hub, that just because one area is working well for an organisation, you might have laptops and you might have your email in the cloud, it doesn't mean that your files are accessible, your video conferencing is working well, your IT infrastructure is cyber secure. And that's where it's important to think about what the right journey is for you and make sure you address each of those different elements at the appropriate point in time. The first thing we suggest is really to choose a non-profit collaboration platform. That might be Google Workspace or Microsoft 365. We really don't care what it is. And there are other options out there as well. But we generally recommend one of those two because of the significant discounts and donations that those companies provide organisations and the fact that they sit in the cloud and are automatically updated. So they enable remote working by default. Often organisations then need to think about what the right partner is to take them on their remote working journey. Usually it's a combination of your in-house staff as well as a couple of external vendors that can help you with that journey. Sometimes you can do it completely in-house. Sometimes you decide to do it completely externally. It's about getting the right match of skills, staff, personalities to meet your needs, your culture, and how dispersed you are as an organisation. The more dispersed you are and the more you've got people in different states and territories across the country, the more you're potentially likely to need a bigger combination. It's really important to think through each of the different aspects that enable remote working. Is it email, file sharing, collaborating with others, building an intranet, getting your video conferencing right, securing your information with multi-factor authentication, supporting that knowledge sharing environment, or selecting the right system to support delivery of services for your staff? Each of those are a journey in themselves, and it's important not to take too long for any one area, but also not to try and do everything at once. Because we find organisations that try to do everything at once, they usually struggle to chew through that mouthful and they get stuck, everyone gets frustrated, and generally things stop for a year or so while they reset. So take it slowly, do it a piece at a time, do the bit that makes the most sense first, but also listen to someone that you trust in this space, because they can say what's easy versus what's hard and what makes sense to do first versus second. Usually for both the Microsoft and the Google 365 platform, we recommend laptops and email early in the stage because that's fundamental to everything else you're trying to do. And then once you've got that under control, then you can look at some of the more advanced elements. Getting your telephony into the cloud, migrating your applications, moving servers if you still need them, external collaboration, changing and refining your culture so that people innovate as a default rather than be pushed from management or others down the line. And that's really what we see as critical in terms of the remote working journey. You can see there that there's different levels: basic, challenged, intermediate, and advanced. If you're not sure where you are, take our digital capability quiz on the Digital Transformation Hub. And that'll help you understand your journey, where you are today, as well as give you up to 50 separate digital guides that are appropriate for where you are and how you can get to the next step. Remember, if this has been helpful, visit the Hub to learn more about nonprofit tech, and also click on the link below to stay in touch.
Thanks, Marcus. That's super helpful for everyone here today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge here today on the Exchange Video Library. And we look forward to seeing you all again soon. All the best.